Hello everybody on YouTube and welcome to Feedback Friday number I don't know too many. In this stream we play games made by you guys. Assuming they follow these simple set of rules. They have to be made by you, they have to be free for me to play, they have to be playable on PC, and if they are local multiplayer, that's probably not going to work because there's only one of me, right? You submit as you join my streams. They run anywhere between they start anywhere between 1 and 2 on a Friday, and they run through till about 5:30 usually, probably a bit shorter today. I have a bit of a headache, but you show up anywhere between that time. You submit a game, earlier the better, and we alternate between playing games in order of who submitted first, and we also do raffles in the chat where we give away like the next game to be played. So there's still a chance to get your game played even if you show up a bit later. Okay, we've adjusted the rules. This is the new version, new and improved version of Feedback Friday, and we're going to start it off with a game from Woolhig called Sean JS Feedback Friday.zip. Apparently, a sandbox-style, calming survival game. Probably exactly what I needed to kick this off. I've had a very tired all week. That doesn't necessarily mean I've been very productive. I've just been very tired, because apparently that just happens when you get older. Sometimes you just get extremely tired, and it sucks. So, with that in mind, this is Sleepy Feedback Friday. That's gonna be the video title. Where even is my viewer games folder? There it is. We're gonna relax today. We're gonna chill. We're gonna chill, we're gonna reflect, and we're just gonna think about games and how to make them good. So I don't really know anything about this game. I don't think there were any instructions or anything given here. It's just a drive link, so we'll just see how this goes. I'm gonna kick it off. Windows is protected my PC, but I've decided I'm gonna run it anyway. That's how trusting I am. Woolhig. The game is called Woolhig. Gosh. But it says made by. Is that like a G or an at symbol? I can't actually tell that. Like, what do we think this letter is? That an at symbol? Do we think? Feels like it needs like the couple of, I don't know, pixels there or something. Like, I don't think I could add this. I actually think I could. I think it is YouTube safe, but like, I'm not sure if I'd be meant to monetize it. It's an app. Alexander. So that's you, but also your Twitch name is Woolhig, and the game is called Woolhig. We take that. We get some full screen, and we can turn off chill on, because we're going to chill to the tunes of Woolhig. That's the volume. If I can hear it well, I'm going to hope it's around the same volume my music was, and therefore you can all hear it well. It is chill. Let's just drink it in, drink in the ambience. I like the art. It's consistent. Very good. Simple and effective. Got some mountains. Odd, like, almost like the mouse is kind of affecting like the parallax as I move my mouse up and down. Feels a little weird, actually. I don't know that actually adds much. Like, I don't get it, because like I don't feel like I'm moving a camera or anything. It just sort of feels odd. I think it actually looks better when my mouse is still. And like the mountains are very clearly mountains, because I thought it was all just clouds at first, because I've moved my mouse around a bunch. But yeah, those are mountains, and they sit still, and then the clouds kind of scroll behind them. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that this mouse thing adds. Like, maybe that you might have a less is more situation there, where maybe it'd be better if it just chilled, sat still. But the art here is really nice. It's very pretty. All matches. New game, enter seed. This seed will be used to create the world. This will override your current world if you have one. Oh, there has to be a number? Oh, I don't have any good... What's a good number? 69. Good number. Okay. Use whilst or arrow keys to move. Hold shift and move to turn without moving. Okay, because we're like moving on a grid. We're kind of the guy from Minute at the moment, I think. And hold the left mouse button to punch objects in front of you. Punching some sand or soil to harvest them. So, I suspect from this that the game maybe expected me to not have spawned in the middle of an ocean. Maybe 69 was not the best speed to go with here. Because I'm not really seeing any soil or sand. So I'm gonna try starting again with maybe a different number. Maybe we'll go 69, 69. No, we're still in the water. So does this just always happen? Try speed 1. Okay, a little bit better. So yeah, that's obviously an issue. It seems like your randomness is maybe a bit too random. Or not random enough. I'm not sure. One way or the other, it's an issue, right? Some degree of fudging you want to do one way or the other, where regardless of how random things are, you guarantee certain qualities that you need the player to have in order to learn how to play the game and have basic things available to them, right? No one likes true randomness. People do like... Oh gosh. People do like a breadth of possibility. People like variety. They don't necessarily like randomness. Pick up... Okay. Carrying some dirt. Pick up objects that have a black shadow under them. Okay. Crafting can be done by pressing C when a valid combination of objects is held. Okay, so I'm guessing that's dirt and nothing is not valid. When crafting, the order of objects doesn't matter, but they must be the only objects held at a time. Okay. 2 cobble and 2 logs and pressing C. Okay. Just slap this rock for a bit. Is this like some sort of neo-forager? Oh, we have to like... how did we... Oh, was it like... right mouse? Does change. I like the music. That is a lot of log. Campfire. Aww. If the object can't be placed, it will be dropped instead. Dropped objects are not placed objects. Dropped objects have a shadow. Sure. Placed objects are usually solid and can sometimes be interacted with. Okay. Slap some more tree. It is pleasant. The music works well with the mechanics and the tutorial to create a very slow pace. Music isn't just, you know, this is the thing about that lens we've talked about before, right? Of like how your mechanics, your narrative, your aesthetics, and your technology all work together to form a thing, right? And they enhance one another. And like the music, the slow pace of the hitting of things, even the tutorial being of like something a lot of people would consider to be quite crude, of just like a box in the corner with like a next and clicky thing. It just creates a very slow pace, which for this game kind of works. It lets you see things happening, like the time of day passing and stuff like that. What would be a nightmare is, of course, if this was a bit like, you know, Don't Starve or something like that, and like night came along and some monsters just came and murdered me while I was trying to work all this stuff out, which is a common problem with these kind of games. Oh. Oh, we got two. Some walls. Sand and soil are floor objects. Okay. While facing water. Oh. So yeah, you have to... Okay. If holding multiple objects, you can cycle through them by scrolling with mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down. Let's create some wooden planks and punching logs. Minecraft, man, it really empowered developers to be like, you know, yeah, maybe you can just punch the tree. Wait, you can keep hitting the log. Does it turn into sticks? Or does it just... Oh, no, planks. Oh, that's literally what the tutorial was telling us to do, coincidentally enough. I was just experimenting. Oh, I was making... Oh, it's not even telling me to craft something. I should probably just read the entire of the thing rather than just sort of skimming. Let's make a chest. Think of 4 wooden planks. Okay, so we've got to do some more smacking. You know, I always feel like I want to play more Crashlands than I have done. I really enjoyed the very little of it I've played, and I've just never really come back to it. I'm not sure why. Thing is, like, sometimes I accidentally hit things, and I don't know if it's retaining that health or what, and like, I'm not sure how damaged things are, I guess. I'm not saying I want like a big health bar above things, I'm just noticing that as a thing. Once placed, some objects can be interacted with. Open the chest by moving it. Well, what can I even... A pine cone, can I put this in? Okay. Right, because your inventory is just a big, like, tower on top of you of things, right? Very long tutorial. Not that that's necessarily bad. Notice the art style, by the way. Notice the consistency. None of this art is like hard to draw. But it takes being... Oh, oops. How do I... There we go. No. There we go. But it's consistent. Except you could argue it's not... I mean, up here, like, obviously it's shrunk down. But, like, it works because it's a UI layer type of thing. The one thing, yeah, is that, like, some of your UI is one size, and then some of your UI is a different size. It's far enough away that it never, like, is jarring. And I can see why you did it, to just sort of keep the text not absurdly big, you know? But I'd argue that maybe this should be... I can see why you did. Hold the left mouse button. Ah, okay, we missed that. So that's my punch, and then we've got the sword. Okay. Okay. Now we're on our own. Do tools break? Or do we just sort of have this forever now? Because now we can hit two things at once, which is pretty dope. Although I think I just broke it. What was it that made... You've kind of got to discover all these. Okay, we got a shovel. It's a coincidence. I don't want to make a river, but like... I'm not actually sure what I would do with all the tools that are... Do you have to add that they break? Maybe they just don't. What does it add that they break? Very few games. I like it in Breath of the Wild and the way stuff breaks in that. Stuff is very transient and you kind of come across it and so on. But in these kind of games with Minecraft and stuff, you just like, oh, I guess I'll make the tool again. I don't really like that aspect of it. Get the tutorial back if I need. Oh, it's just gonna be the same content, alright. How much stuff can I carry? That much. How do I dump all this sand? Can I throw it on the fire? Can't cook sand. Yeah, I gotta be careful. We don't just spend hours and hours on that. I feel like it's gonna take me a long time to get anywhere. Was it? What was that? Like building a house with many trees in this game. Which is slow pace, I guess. Especially if you don't have a whole lot of content at the moment. I guess you don't want to rinse through it too quick. And the palette is really, like, the way the palette works and the light and stuff is quite nice. It's interesting because it's like HD light, but it's kind of like how it is in Pokepoke, where it just like, it's still just hitting the pixels, I think. Yeah. I have a sword, but I haven't seen any kind of enemies or anything. So honestly, I kind of dig the fact that there's no enemies. It's in a nice place where it is right now, and I kind of worry you're going to ruin it by adding too much of every other game like this. Oh, there's a chicken. Like, I like to play games like this where your tools don't break, because it's just annoying. It's like, well, I guess I'll go make the tool again, or like, I guess I have to go get that resource again to go do that, and it just makes tasks long, not in an interesting way. Factorio makes tasks very long, but always in a constantly interesting way of trying to solve a new puzzle. Oh, oops. How do you forget? Oh, it's like E. Oh, well. It's the little soul. The tutorial does tell you that, but like it is, you could. Oh, did that one just a little bit out of place? Did I break the tile grid somewhere along the line there? Oh well. Like, this is really cool, and I think honestly it's coolest because I caught it in this place. The existence of the sword and you saying things like, oh yeah, tools don't break at the moment, I'm gonna add that, worry me a little that it's just gonna end up being another one of these, you know? Well, because what I would want you to do with something like this is really make it something that's yours. If that makes sense. Tell you what we'll do here. We'll do this. Or at the moment it's different because it's missing those things. Like, the fact that tools don't break is great and I can just sort of use them and not care, and I'm not thinking about like, oh, am I using this? Well, how much I care about being efficient, but you know what I mean, like, I'm not worried about it breaking. I'm just like, just use whatever the best tool is I have, you know? I'm not thinking like, oh, I shouldn't use my sword on this tree because the sword will break, I better punch it or whatever, you know? I mean, if I can just do whatever, and that's more freeing. And there's no monsters or anything, so I can just chill out and do what I want. There's nothing that's gonna come like screw me over. I can just experiment and do whatever I like. Maybe those things like still have a place in games like this, but maybe it's something you go out to find. Maybe your first island is just like always super chill. Because I'm enjoying the chillness. Maybe it's just the mood I'm in, I don't know. But like, it's nice and it's pleasant. Day-night cycle is really long. Is this an enemy? It is. Can't see it at all. Let's get over here. Proper Minecraft zombie noises. Felt kind of cool. Mort flesh. Cook it up. No, I don't think we can. Yeah, I think for me the chillness is the selling point. That was honestly what was so cool about Crashlands in a way as well. It felt like I could just sort of be in it. And it didn't feel like it was a constant pressure to be like, don't starve. It's like just this constant ongoing pressure of just trying to survive and so on, right? Terraria is a lot more chill, but it's like, I mean, you get like one of the weird things, your red moons and stuff going on in that as well, but like, and obviously it's got all its different modes and stuff, but also that game just isn't very satisfying to build in my opinion. Platformer. Yeah, it's kind of got a more like a retro Cracklands vibe, which I really like. It's really good. Like everything in this functions really nice. All the game feel is really good. The colors are really nice. The art is really good. The sounds are really nice. The music is really good, really fitting. It all works really well together. The tutorial was great. There's a little bit of just like paralysis of choice when it's like, now do whatever you want. And like, that's always tricky in these kind of games. I mean, Minecraft opens without any friggin' tutorial. It's a bit rubbish, really. It's just that it happened to be such a captivating gameplay idea that it took off. Um, and yeah, everything's been done with a lot of care here. Like everything's like, I like the way these buttons are implemented. Like it's all being done really well. And so the main thing I would say about it is to just try and make sure it has something of you in it that um, keeps it something that's different to other things. Because there's a lot of games like this, you know? And even though your execution is really good here, I think because of the limited approach you're going for with some of this stuff as well, like other games are going to be able to do fidelity a bit better than you. Other games are going to be able to do things better and faster than you can. So you still got to find ways to actually make this a bit more unique, I think. And at the moment, I think it has that a little bit just by being so chill. And being a bit forgiving with it. Like, I was really hoping you were just going to say, yeah, tools don't break in this game, and just leave it at that. The fact you thought, oh yeah, they'll do that eventually. It's like, well, every game does that, you know? It would have been really cool to be like, ah, yeah, tools, yeah, you just make them and they last forever, you know? Because it would have been different, and two, because I just would like it that way. Expert criticism there. But yeah, your execution's really, really good here. And I think... Oh, was the campfire going out? Oh, it looked like it was. I mean, yeah, you gotta keep that standard high, which is hard because it's obviously gonna make making the game slow, but like keep it high, and just try and have your own take on things. Try and put things in the game that you think, you know, what isn't being done in this already, right? Because your execution is great, but I don't think just having great execution is enough to make a game of that type be really successful. Maybe it is. Maybe it is still, I don't know. Whereas I think that has a lot of potential. It's really well made. Like I thought the fighting was good actually. Like when I did it, because it's simple, easy to understand, and like there's potential for it. You know. It depends what you want the game to be about. You know. The worry is that because it's so small and simple, it's clearly about this one nice chill thing. And if you start adding a whole bunch of other stuff, it will dilute that experience down and make it about other things. And you run the risk of just losing some of the charm you initially had, which can be fine if you're going for something else. It's just worth thinking about, you know? Anyway, I hope that was in any way useful. I don't know, a bit waffly on that one, but it's really, really good. Is the main takeaway. Main takeaway is well done. It's really good. The execution is very strong. Keep it up. Keep that standard high. Thank you very much, Woolhig. Up to 9 games now. Next up, we got a raffle. So, assuming that you have submitted a game, your game is on this list. You can use !join in chat now to be in with a chance of getting your game played next. Which is always interesting because you never get everyone. You know, you never get everyone who's submitted entering the raffle. Except sometimes early on. Right, we've got 5 out of 9. No, it's good. This guarantees we've got the people who are active, people who are here, taking part. All right. It's 1 in 7. Oh, it is almost everyone actually this time. King Dingus the Third, right down here with Crimson the Mouth. Beefy mouse with beefy gun. All right. That's quite the background. Oh, Sean JS version. Don't know how I feel about that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Turn that down a little bit. Where's your game in the list? Oh, it's on screen now. Look real quick. Slightly different feel. A bit, yeah. Press space. Oh, I didn't press space. I just clicked. We'll come back to this. No, full screen mode. No, I might just keep it in windowed if we can just maximize it there, and it seems to be okay with it. Which makes my zooming and stuff a bit easier. Oh, we can also just... Okay. More like window size when you're not in full screen, but... Maybe we'll do it at that side. No, we'll just... Let's maximize. Help! Is this due to screen sizes? That's all in the top left like this? Oh, it doesn't like being resized like that. AD moving. Lumberbird is fire. Switch shot mode. Right, well, you're gonna have to tell me some of that in the game. Too much. Too much outside of the game. Oh, there's nothing in the game. Well, I've actually got to read all that, but there's nothing gonna just be in this experience. I gotta read that and remember it and translate it out of context. Or maybe we can just play and get the idea. Oh, we've like... Okay, we're swapping a gun, doing something. We've also got a punch. Whoa. Oh wow, what? We just have a really big jump. No, if that was being affected by something or... This art style is a bit all over the place. I have no idea where I'm going. I feel like this is the third possible branch or something we've gone down, and like I think it's split again there. Like, how long is that jump, man? We have like a triple jump? Anything gonna tell me I had a triple jump? Okay, that route appears like it just also led to here, but we can't get through here. We need maybe whatever that is. Oh, is it that? What? Alright, let's... Tell me about this level design, right? Tell me the reason it was like this. Doesn't necessarily matter what it is. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer to this, just... Right, let's come all the way back to here, right? Forgetting the rest of the level for a minute. Right, we've come to here. We've arrived here. The player is here. The player comes up through this way. Firstly, what is all this space for? And then they come up here. Alright, and they've got a choice. Alright, they've got a choice between coming up here, locked door, and a way that they can't go down. And coming down here, where it's just the key, and then coming back up here, the door that open. Why is this a choice? It's not a rhetorical question, I'm actually asking. Why is it a choice for the player to come down here, get a key, and then come up and around here to open this door? Why? This is a valid answer to this, but it's a weird design. I want to know what you were thinking. That's the wrong answer. No reason I get. See but it speaks to what I was getting the impression of from the very start of this level, in that a lot of it has been designed for that reason, which is no reason, I guess. Just say to give you the option to kill the baddie first and then get the key. No. I can tell you what the valid answer would have been, that I would have given you credit for, and that's to teach the player how keys work. Because if the player came up here, and they saw this, as I did, and then it's locked, they know that they can't get through it. Whereas if it was just straight linear and I just picked up the key and run past here, I might not have gleaned the fact that the key opened the door. So you could have gotten away with saying, oh, I want the player to come down here to get the key, to not know there's a key there right away and get that. It still doesn't really work because the player might just come down here first if they just arbitrarily make that choice. But it would have been a more valid reason. So something with platform level design especially. Platform level design is hard, right? A lot of people want to make platformers as like their first game because they think it should be straightforward and easy. It's not. Platformers are hard. Both in terms of coding them, which well done by the way, this all works. It's good. Designing them, tuning them, and level design. It's really hard. Are these skulls just to sort of indicate that that would kill me? But you want a reason for the things that you put in your levels. You really kind of need them. These stairs work. Okay, they're like that. Okay, no, there is kind of an ability to run down them at certain speeds, angles. Like, the arrows are nice at least. At least there's arrows here because it's like, okay, you can go. There's definitely going to be a platform over here. Like, so I trust this giant leap of faith a bit more. But what would have been easier is a jump arc that isn't like 4 screens long, you know? Do you need to be able to jump? I mean, I don't know. You could say it's like a unique part of the game. Like, the player is so small and can jump like 8 million years, and yet the enemies are kind of moving around. Like, the scale is all just a bit all over the place. You know what I'm going to say about this art as well? Assuming you've seen Feedback Friday before, right? What am I going to say about, like, this versus this? And this versus this. And especially this. See, that's just like... it's interesting because I feel like you've, like, maybe, I don't know, if you play tested it or like you just got a general feel for some of the problems in the level design of things like that. It's like, oh, people might not necessarily know. Like, there's thinking going on. Like when we see... Hang on. But like, what is all this space up here for, you know? But like I like that this is here. It's just like, oh yeah, don't jump off here. Like, that'll just kill you. But then what's it here for? You know, why isn't that just a wall? Why doesn't it just end here? Is there something down here? Sort of. Wasn't this just the start? I don't know. Was this another way? I don't know. How did we... I'm so lost on this level. How did we get here in the first place? Okay. Slowly putting the level together here. But there's too many branching paths that aren't different. And it's like... There's not like extra things. It's not an interesting choice really for the player. It's just a feeling that maybe I've missed something. Alright. If I am playing a platform level and I don't know, it's like a way up here. Hang on. Easier way to do this. Okay. The problem with this kind of thing is like, assuming the player is here. So I'm either going to do this, or I'm going to do this. But also there lies the possibility that I do this, or that I do this, or that I do this. And so on, right? Now, is that a bad thing? Well, let's think about this. Like, if we've designed all this content and we've like thought about the angle at which the player is approaching, okay, we can, if we had this, like if we block that off, we know that the player is always going to come from this direction, right? We know the direction they're going to come from. We know roughly where they're going to be at like all points in time, and we can design the experience of the level around that. We can create jumps and stuff like that will fit. We can create enemy patterns that are really memorable, really well designed, really planned out, you know? When it's like this, because the possibility lies that they can come from the other direction, unless you've designed for that, which can be really tricky to make things work in two directions and can lead to a lot of compromise, chances are, if they do make that decision, it's not going to feel great to go that way, and they're gonna end up realizing that they've just gone in a big loop and then they have to go this way again, right? Which is no fun. You know, like even if you put something really cool here, like some sort of special thing that the player might miss, and like, I don't know, the player is sort of funneled in this sort of direction, it's still better generally to do that in this sort of way. So the special thing is up here, and then you get it, and then you just end up back exactly where you were, rather than like ending up in just a weird big loop. Does that make sense? Right, I feel like it doesn't a lot of time make sense when I'm telling people, like, why just adding loads of branching paths is bad, and maybe it just comes across that it's a personal thing for me, and like, oh, like, I don't like having to think about branches, which is true, I don't. But it's an actual flaw, right? Generally speaking, right? So, unless you have a very good reason for doing paths and branches and stuff like that, like Pokebooks full of branches and stuff, but just because it's a hub world that you're meant to explore, it's not meant to be, and then the trials themselves are extremely linear. The hub world is there for you to, like, actually piece together and so on, right? Whereas this is like a set of challenges in order of jumping and shooting and stuff like that. So I don't want to get caught in a loop, or and I want the experience to be designed for my approach, because it's probably going to be tighter and more interesting. So it's like a double-pronged problem, right? You can't design, or, well, you can design, but it's going to probably not be as good for going in both directions. And when you actually come out the other side of it, you're probably just going to feel like, ah. You know, I know, and if you just whiz past it, and if you just do this, that sucks too, because you feel like you've missed out on something. And if you don't feel like that, because not everyone does necessarily feel like that, maybe not people, like, a lot of people don't care. The best outcome is someone does that, and it doesn't mind it, but has missed out on a bunch of content that you designed. You made all this, so surely you want them to see the content, right? So there's a whole host of issues with, like, creating platform games that just have a bunch of branches and loops and stuff like that for no good reason. So the key is, if you don't have a good reason, just make the level linear. And on top of that, what we were just talking about before is have a reason for why you do things the way you do. It doesn't have to be, like, a lot. I mean, like, look at it. Like, look at this whole area over here that you've got, like, right? And all it is to house this box with some bullets in it. Which is like, if that box was something super important, like there was a big fancy mechanic in there, you could justify, like, oh, I'm, like, framing it. You know, if you put it on a little platform and you're just like you're signifying the player that this is a significant space, maybe. But it's just a box with some bullets in it, right? This could have, like, there could have just been a wall here, and the box could have just been there, right? And I could just be like, boom, oh, bullets, cool, and then carried on. Like, does this make sense? I don't know if I feel like I word things very well when it comes to, like, level design critique. And it's not necessarily my area of total expertise, but it's the lens I have. Good. And, like, okay, so this is obviously the way we go. Look at that. Like, it's screaming go up. But why is this here? You know? Why was I able to do that? Why was I able to send myself just all the way back around? Just put a wall. Just put a big chunky wall here. Whee. I was gonna talk more about the jump arc, but honestly, like, I don't know, do what you want. At least it's interesting. At least it's unique. It actually feels kind of cool, like doing really big, stupid jumps. Stage complete. Sound 0 out of 3. God dang. Because that's usually most people's argument with this kind of thing. Oh, I want to hide things and do secrets and stuff like that. But you can do that with linear levels, and often they're more interesting, more rewarding, and more satisfying to find. And more likely that people are going to find them as well. And you want people to find them. So it's the weird contradiction with secrets. It's like, you know, you want them to be hard to find and so on, but you still want people to ever find them. Otherwise you just put content in your game that no one experienced. I'm glowing now, I don't know if something's going on. I feel like most of the levels are going to be a bit like this, aren't they? They're all going to have the same kind of... I'm just playing it a bit more in case it just changes up a bit. I don't know. Might be some other interesting stuff to talk about. Get key open thing. I was gonna say like maybe look at Doom levels and stuff for how they do like key placement and design, but honestly because it's so different because it's a 3D game, it probably would give you bad habits for doing platform and stuff. It would probably just make you do more big branching weirdness that can kind of work a lot. It's a lot easier, I think, to do interesting loop arounds and stuff in 3D games. There's something more intrinsically fun about like exploring the environment that makes those things work a bit better, I think. Alright, I think, I mean, there's more I could talk about here, but I think, honestly, we've probably given you enough to think about. I like the fact that the bullets are huge, right? Big props on making the bullets just big. These bullets should be big in these kind of games. I like the exploding purple stuff as well, even though it doesn't really fit the art style. The idea is good. These pickup piles are just like loads of everything. Oh yeah, I've got all these different bullets that we've not really been using. Oh god, some of these enemies are a bit fast. I feel like I don't know, but I feel like that's usually an indicator that the person making this is quite young. Everything just moves at the speed that like you need to be a Jedi to react to. Just that's fine. For platformers, it's tricky. It depends on the kind of game. I'm trying to think for something like this. Level design. Honestly, just practice the things I told you and see where you go from there. Like, you know, just try and design with a purpose. Try and be linear, and you'll be amazed just how quickly that improves things. And I don't know, I probably can. There probably are resources, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. If you just practice those things, that's probably enough to, like, you know, get you started improving. And then it's a matter of doing things like this, you know, getting in front of someone, seeing how they play through it. And GDC Vault probably has a lot of really good ones, yeah. I was thinking there's stuff on Braid's level design, but that's probably not appropriate to this kind of game. I don't know, not off the top of my head. I'm sure they exist and I'm just forgetting some. GMTK might have some good stuff. But like, I think you're really in the position of like getting the basics, right? Which, yeah, is just like, before we can really start diving into it, because you might just have some really good instinct. You might not need to watch all those things, you know, but you just gotta shrink it all down and just follow those two rules. Keep it linear, and have a reason for the things that you do. And then you can go from there. There'll be other problems and stuff, but it'll be easier to isolate them. Thank you for that. That was cool. So next up is Taishing in the chat. Are you here, sir? You are. Good, because your game is next. Nope, wrong fill. Mask. That's a bit of a headache-inducing magic eye puzzle of a background there. They're just all wearing schoolgirl out. Oh no. Content warning for adult language. Okay. Okay. We can tolerate that. Oh, actually, we probably want the zip. I do have a form. See if you can find it. It's the first puzzle. If the chat are feeling generous, they might assist you. And they did. Music. Ah, shift. That's a false. Right shift. It doesn't matter. It's not a criticism at all. But why right shift? What? What? Why that button? Oh, it doesn't even work. When does... There we go. It doesn't work on the title screen. Why right shift? But he had it in his testing game and imported it. Okay. Don't know what I expected. Just like, it's probably just like, you just looked at the keyboard and it's, this one. Not like F, or like, I don't know, or Alt Enter, like, right shift. It's not, as I say, not really a criticism at all. It's just confusing. Brad. Triple dot into my name is Brad. The classic, a visual novel opener, right? The triple dot. That's how we know he's mysterious. His name is Brad. 5 hours ago, I got on a plane from Russia on a one-way flight to southern Japan. He's from Russia and his name is... Maybe he's not from Russia. I'm here now walking to my new school. As the valedictorian, I was given the opportunity to become a transfer student to a prestigious Japanese high school. To be honest, I have no idea what to expect in Japan. Just gone here after all. Triple dot. And that's the last of it. So, with that kind of thing, where you're trying to do like an and, you probably want to stretch the vowel, because that's how it's said, right? And otherwise it's and. Right? It's like, you gotta consider, because when you write in style like that, you're giving the text a voice. So you gotta think about how you do it. There's a lot of artistry in that kind of thing. Also, I wanted to zoom in, but it's not liking it. Yeah, okay, we can do this. What I do not know how I feel about this. There's some red flags going up for me there. Brad looks around his new dorm. It's mostly filled with stuff that his new school has provided for him, with the exception of a few posters he's thrown up. Looks like I'm set up pretty good here. What are my viewers like? Brad takes a look at it. Ah, right, okay, because it says narrator here. A little tricky, actually, with that, to be like, wait, he's not talking now? That's always a situation where you want like a different font or something, or italics or something like that. I know it's like it says narrator there, but it's just like got that little bit of distance from this, and it's not like a portrait or whatever, it's going from name to name, that it just took a little moment. Also, I see what you've done. Like, it's not just pixel art that has the problem. Let's get right in there. I see you with your scaling. I don't have to draw it again, right? We can just make it bigger. Drawing it again, that would take a bit of time. Or 9-slicing it, or doing like anything like that. Just drew it at a different size. It looks mostly the same. Was it Dark Souls? I don't know. It always gave me a bit of a Crusader vibe, and I was a bit like, how do I... Where's this gonna go? Cultural differences are something, aren't they? Sorry, I've missed some of this. Brad turns to his bearded dragon who's sitting in a cage on Brad's new desk. We used Brad twice and that's like, well, I'll see you tonight, Derek. Triple dot. Love you, triple dot. You love me too. Triple dot. Something a bit weird with the text as well, which is like this looks fine, and I get the feeling that maybe these are baked into the images. But this text, like, you see how it's kind of like artifacting or like dark around the corners? It's like it's trying to anti-alias it or something, and it's, I don't know. Something a bit weird with it. Might just be a full screen issue and so on, I don't know. Looks like this. Still kind of got a bit of it there. Residential Academy. Awash in the high-class bourgeois culture. This academy will certainly provide for me. In the courtyard, Brad sees a man in a group screaming manically. That's a socially rude. That's the best line so far. Brad encourages the group of bickering men. I'm not really sure what's going on here either. Like, it's kind of funny, right? They're all presidents and the music is good. But they're all just saying, like, I hate you and I hate you more and so on. Ooh. We all call each other by our last names here. No reason. Like Sundari Washington over here. I like the way they bounce, like that when the talking is good. That's such a great cheap way to do, like, this character is talking now. Boing. Like, that's really good. What's with the barber and the super high tights? Compared to all the others. It's the vibe. It's not, I mean, it's not even just juice, you know, like it indicates who's talking and it does it in a really cheap, like a really cost-effective way. You know, who's got time to animate a guy talking or like, do different voices or anything like that. Just do a little bounce. Okay. I feel like some of the jokes are probably going over my head. Everyone in the school is a member of the student council. How can you be the most important if everyone's in it? Then what? Backer. Just in case you didn't get the vibe from everything else. So far, Jay. Not gonna lie, there's a bit much on this writing at the moment. I feel like this game could use. Like, I'm not saying every game needs to have mechanics and so on. I don't know, maybe this one does a little bit later, but like, I feel like I need a break, and mechanics would do a good job of giving me a break from just dialogue, 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 dialogue. Like, even when it's all like jokes and stuff. In fact, especially when it's all jokes, it's just like the note just is it's one note repeating, even though that note is all right, or like one little sequence, little jingle that's like, oh, it's a good jingle. But once you've heard it the 40th time in a row, you want the song to do something else, you know? Riddle, do we have to do a thing? What walks on two legs and has no brain? You was I was excited. I thought maybe I'd have to click on something other than just progress the text. So let's just carry on. Rated 2. Oh my gosh. Can't click any faster. Oh, evil Nixon. Like, I'm sure these jokes are quite good, and I feel a little bit bad just skipping through. I just want to see if the game does anything else. Not interactive at all beyond save and load currently. Well, then I feel like I'm not gonna run through the whole. I mean, I don't know. It's the end. I'm going to seduce them. And that. Oh, is that the end? It's a demo, and what? There's gonna be more. Honestly, like the writing is like it's not incredible, but it is like it's fun enough. But it's not good enough to be like I don't know. I wouldn't read the novel, you know, like, and that's pretty much what there is. It is. It needs something else. I don't know. I don't know if that's mechanics or just I don't know, or just I don't know, little choices to make or anything. Um, I'm not saying just because every game needs that, but I feel like this game needs it because otherwise it just feels like it's playing one note forever, and it's just like I don't know. I don't think the joke holds up long enough by itself. It's got to mix it up and keep it surprising and interesting. Um, and it's not doing that if I'm just reading. For some people, I think it would be enough. Like, I mean, I'm not. I think it's just a me thing, and I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to say that like it's not a real game because it doesn't have mechanics, because I don't think that's true at all. But like, it's tricky. Oh, the art's nice. The art is good. This stuff could be improved, like the UI stuff, especially if it's going to be the whole game. Like that's you get so much value out of this being good if that's here for the whole game, right? You really gotta make sure this text draws super nicely. You can't take shortcuts with the edges of the window. Make these windows look good. Don't take shortcuts with drawing arrows. So like I can see that slight tilt at the back of the arrow there. You gotta make these things spot on, like pristine, because that's it's what we're constantly in, right? The whole experience is this. And if it is gonna be like that, this needs to shine. It needs to be super, super pleasant to use, because you're gonna be doing a whole lot of it. That's where you put all the money and the time. Um, Honestly, just anything, even like I don't know. It's like, oh, you have these 5 things to do. I was really expecting it to pull out to like a view of the school, and we would just click which areas we wanted to go to. It's not a puzzle, it's not a mechanic, but it makes me feel a bit more involved in it. Like I'm not just reading a thing. Give me that illusion. Like, I mean, that's all the game is. Just give me the illusion that I'm there. You have an environment in which you can do things. So add these things because they will add to the game. You know, they will help break. It just helps break it up, because I think that's it. Because I'm sure like all the stuff I skipped there, I wasn't skipping it because it was like super bad or anything like that. There was some stuff I was like, oh, that's probably quite funny, like that was coming from the images and stuff like that. But like, it was too much, and I ran out of stamina. I just need something to break it up. Gameplay would help, I think. Uh, I say not serious big puzzles or things you have to think hard about. Just any little choices. Any little riddle that came up. Let me answer it or something like that. You know. Rather than just be like, this is a setup for a joke that's just like, well, I can't remember what it was. Like, what has two legs and no brain? You. I'm like, it's not a very good joke. And I'll say you don't have to then create like a cave story structure, a branching path, and make everything remember it because that's not what the game is about. The game is just about a series of dumb jokes, and that's fine. You just gotta find ways to break it up a little. Like I'm not saying have a whole stat tree and like multiple endings and stuff like that. I'm not saying it has to be a mechanics first game, but I'm saying that mechanical lens is worth just taking just dipping the foot in just a tiny bit because I think it would benefit the rest of the experience. Um, not to make it a better game or a more real game or anything like that, just to actually benefit the experience of what is there. Um, and as I say, my only main thing is like, yeah, the art is cool. Just keep it consistent. Um, which you're largely doing in the backgrounds are good. The characters are really well drawn and good. The bouncing is very good. Get this UI feeling super nice. Put a lot of time into it. Don't rush the UI. It's a big deal. It's your whole game. Most of the game isn't even looking at the backgrounds. Most of it is my eyes are here because I'm reading the text. So that's you got to put time in. It's got to look really good. Thanks for that. Taisheng. Next up, it's a raffle. We've made it what? 2 hours and we've played 3 games. Nice. Or less than that. I think we've had like half one, right? 1 minute timer as a go. Message will appear in a second. Assuming you are on this list and you have submitted, you can now join the raffle. If you have not and you would like to, you can find the form using exclamation mark FAQ. Fill this out. The rules are all there. And assuming, obviously the earlier the better because we alternate between priority and doing these raffles. So you still have a chance. Lower chance, so the later you submit, obviously, but a chance. Not many about right now. 13 submissions, 3 played, so 10 available to play. Oh no, 12, so 9. And only 4 people in the raffle. Well, is what it is. And the winner is Bad Piggy 490. 1 in 4. Proper sniped that. Oh, and you were right here anyway. Good. And this is why it's way better to be early, because if you're early, you get double chances, right? Like, even if you lose the raffle, you get played in priority. Raffle hates more. It neither hates nor loves them. It is completely indifferent. This looks cool. It's an interesting style. WebGL version may have issues. Please try the Windows downloadable version if possible. Alright. If you say so. See, I just don't upload web versions. Really should do a little diary, make more people rate it. It's little diary as well. Do you want it rating? We can do that. Piggy 490. 1.5 days. I mean, that's That's kind of the idea. You rushed it in 1.5 days as opposed to what, 2 days? Yeah, like. Right, yeah. Screen rails. Oh, how well is it going to work at 2.5K? Ah, cool. I like this kind of tutorial. Like I'm in the game world, look, and I can just move around. MLG gamer, so I already know WASD works. Ooh, you can go in a little. Hey, they're all blocks. You didn't just do one big wall. You couldn't work out how to tile the textures, so you just made a whole bunch of blocks. I like it. I've done that before. Anyway, left mouse click to shoot an arrow. Click again to dash to an. Is this Game Maker? Oh no, it was Unity, wasn't it? Shoot an arrow. Left click. Click again to dash to an enemy if an arrow hits one. Oh shit! I think I. Oh, did I run out of arrows? How's that? Sometimes clicking doesn't do anything. It just hits as an arrow on. Oh, now it's doing it every time. WASD or ZWSD for movement. Space to jump. And also there's a double jump. It didn't tell me that, but it's there. Left shift dash. You can dash at any time to aim yourself in mid-air. Aim yourself in mid-air. And you have to be moving in a direction to dash. It just basically just a limited sprint key. It's not like a. Okay. Right mouse click or E to go into slow-mo. Portal when all enemies are dead to move deeper into the tower. Whoa. What was the thing to like dash to an enemy? Did that just happen? Oh, did we just click on it? Oh, we have to like finish it off. You have to like shoot it and then dash into it. So you probably want to make sure I can't get too close, because otherwise that'll happen. Me. At least that's like a pseudo pause as well. Oh, we actually, yep. Was it even possible to hit them without slow-mo? It just goes so fast. I'm surprised I haven't hit one by accident yet. Oh, we did. Just then. It's just monstrously hard. Is there no limit on slow-mo? Why wouldn't I just be in this all the time? It's a weird style, but kind of valid. A low power helps, I think. These are stationary ones you can kind of fight without slow-mo. I feel like I wish I just fired a little bit faster, you know, there's a lot of like, you wanted to do the drawback on the arrow and so on. Typically the way you do that is like something like you hold the arrow down and let go of it that way kind of thing if you want to make it about like and then shoot release. Whereas this almost feels like I just kind of want to fire fast. I don't think there is a way for me to like fire and hold it down, right? In fact, when I hold the mouse button down, I just can't shoot. Like it only works when I tap it. Strange. I mean, it goes from just impossible to very easy when like we're in ultra slow-mo. There's like no limit to the slow-mo or anything like that. It's interesting, but like I don't feel like there's quite a completeness to the idea of the challenge here. Another type of arrow when you hold the mouse but you remove it last minute, right? I see. Down the portal. I like this way of putting the tutorial just in the game world while you're playing, and you can just like you get used to the movement while you're reading it and so on. Even better if it was just like in a sequence that we like walked through and like did the thing we just learned or something. In a little tunnel, that'd be kind of cool. Like, the slow-mo is cool, it's just it almost feels like I wish it would like I don't know, here's one way. One way to do it. Not the way, but one way. It's like you could have it so when you hold left mouse you draw back the arrow. And you automatically go into slow-mo as you do it, and then like you let go and it comes out. But that slow-mo only lasts like a bar counts down the moment you pull that, and there's only so long you can hold it back for before the arrow just goes, kind of thing, you know? You can let it go early, but there's only so long. That might make it interesting, like you've got to do that aiming quickly. And you can also just use holding the arrow to do the slow-mo rather than like toggle it on and off just infinitely. Might make it a little more interesting. I don't know. It's clearly just experimenting a little, and I don't think it's just all there yet. There's a million and one things you could do, so I don't want to be too prescriptive and say like do it like this. I want to give you obviously the space to just experiment and try things out. I just don't think it's hard to describe exactly why, but it's the fact that you can just do this forever. And when you're in this, it's really easy, and when you're out of this, it's impossible, and it doesn't quite work. You gotta find an answer. There's a lot of different answers. I just don't want to be like, do this one. It's weird that you have to dash to kill each enemy, but once you get the idea, it's fine. Like, it's not really, it's just like, I thought this was an option, but it's just like, no, that's how you have to fight the thing. Like, I hit something with an arrow, I want to see the arrow blow it up, but that's just me. Never actually used the dash. Oh, it takes you out of slow-mo. Like a guaranteed dodge then. The interesting is like a bullet hell. Like you can slow over a brief length of time and like trying to get around things or whatever. I don't know, it's interesting. I like the style. Generally, it's cool. You get away with a lot more like things not quite being the right pixel size, like these monsters aren't quite right, but like it doesn't really matter as much in 3D. Because like the illusion's gone anyway for the most part with the pixel art, and it's like a different sort of illusion. Yeah, the feel of the shooting is not quite there. I don't think the loop itself and the general abilities that you have don't feel quite there yet either. And there's a lot of different things you can do, but I like the style of it and I like the concept. There's a lot of good there. It's just I don't think the foundation is quite there yet, you know? Not much else to say about that. Trying to remember how I rate things. Um, graphics are really solid. Like simple palette kept to one simple style, and it was consistent throughout. Arguably, the trace effect on the arrow and the dash and stuff is probably the least consistent thing, but it's generally very good. Audio is fine, albeit not particularly memorable. Humor, I'm not gonna rate. What was this here? Oh, deeper and deeper. Oh, right. Kind of. Innovation. Honestly, yeah, like you're trying something new and interesting. I'm not sure it's there yet, but you're experimenting, and it's interesting. For limited, because it's like it's close, you know, like. But the found too much of the foundation, I think, is just missing. Like it just doesn't add up to an interesting enough experience. Like the moment to moment of shooting one of these and dashing to them, that feels all right, but that's not enough for a whole game, right? It's just like, oh, that felt kind of nice. And it's like, okay, now do that 20 times. You've won the game. But it's cool. It's interesting. So that the FAQ is literally above you in the chat there, Last Play 5. Oh, internal stamina check. How am I doing? 3:15. Been going for almost 2 hours. Feel about the same, honestly, as when I started, so I guess we can carry on. Yasa Miali, are you about? So, okay, you're all here. Cool. Clown Town again. Oh my god, I have to constantly reinstall this game. But we say if it's not fixed, I'm gonna be unhappy. This is the third time we've played this game. Has anything else changed as well, or is it literally we've just fixed that and you want to see if I have anything else to say? Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it would be a significant fix, but like, just fix the sleep margin. Well, we'll see how it feels. Still got my save. Do train at home. Feels better already. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A lot faster. All right then. Break. See, I'm interested now because I felt like it was like I barely had time to react to things even when it was like really slow, and it just like compounded it though because it was so slow. But I don't know that it just being fast will fix that. It'll just make it more immediately obvious and less painful each time, right? Let's go. Woo. Okay. Oh gosh, that would. If that had got me, I'd have been like, how was I meant to time or react to that? And he just comes up so quickly. What's our score even based on? Oh yeah, forget there's like an overheating thing. You never tell the player about the fact that the car can overheat now and again. It's just, sometimes you just take a bunch of damage. And it's like, why did that happen? Oh, we missed that last one. But still, we can actually get through these levels a lot better now. Obviously, we've talked about the art style before. Like this is like the backgrounds are really nice. They just don't really match. Like it should all be like any one of the art styles on screen. You know, it could either all be like the stuff in the background, or at least pick like two that go really well together as like a background foreground delineation. Too many styles at once. You've got like thick outlines on these big like honey, like beehive things and the bees, and these are like really thin outline, and the ground is like a, I don't know, seamless photo realistic texture. Yeah, I remember this bit being odd last time, I think. Does the horn do anything? It creates like a little aura, almost feels like it should do something. Just keep pressing up? What? Why is that the timing? Why would you just... The optimal timing is just, yeah, it works out if you just hold up. If I just didn't think at all, and wasn't looking at the screen and just held up, I'd have done better than trying. Oh no! Look how much faster we got to here though. Yeah, it does feel a lot better. Like the physics and stuff feel way better. Okay. Oh, what? Yeah. God dang it. I'm overheating. Wait, what? Oh, that's a good shout, actually. Why are we doing... There's probably... I imagine it's a loop, like another one will fall behind it or something, but that's still a good shout. I wasn't thinking too hard about the boulder, to be honest. Oh, but then that can happen. Let it pass in peace. Ah, but then that happens! I just keep running into it because I'm too impatient. Nah! Well, the whole polygonal collision thing is good, like the physics of this is nice. Ah, come on! It just kills you? I was like, oh, maybe it'll just like push me along if we get... It's too hard to react. It's like you just have to kind of trial and error, learn all the timings. There we go. But at least it's possible to react now because the physics actually feel responsive. No, yeah. I got pretty lucky there. Like, oh no. Kind of dig that it's just one rolling rock actually, because in theory, I don't know how much of the score is affected by how fast you do the level or anything. It's like it adds a bit of a like, well, you can just wait for it to pass, but then your score won't be as good. So you could do the level with it chasing you, or outpace it, or whatever. Because it seems like you can get quite far ahead of it if you go past them. I think I'm preferring going past it, honestly. Trying to let it go behind me, I'm just getting impatient and getting myself killed more. Any seeds and twigs? Thank you very much for the sub. Much appreciated. Ugh. Then it feels like we've got to if we slow down behind it, it's like we've got to regain speed. God. Alright, yeah. It's just too hot. You can't see it coming, so you just gotta know what sort of speed to be getting there at. Or maybe I could use the actual brake thing. We've just been pressing down. So we used the... No, because then that happens! I feel like I shouldn't have slowed down. Let's go faster. Ah, it's too much. Just hold forwards. Hold forward. Yeah. We did our best. It's good. I like it. It's just a bit too hard for me. I just like it's too much going on, and like I can't react to upcoming things because I don't feel like I can just see far enough ahead, and like it's just I've got to learn it all by a bit trial and error. I don't know that's necessarily a bad thing though. It's good. There's a lot of other things I could say about the art and stuff like that. We've talked about that previously, though. I don't think I have anything new to say about it. Other than, yeah, it does feel a lot better when the frame rate works correctly. Legendary clown. It's like just whoever has the best overall score currently or something. That's cool. There we go. Finally played as God intended. Or whatever. Right. Raffle. You know how it works. If your game is in this list, you've submitted a thing and you are here and would like me to play it, the opportunity is now. Man, Beers was quick off the mark there. It could be you. Yeah, it does live on. I like it a lot. Like it's way better in my opinion. We can just leave the form open for the whole duration. You don't have to show up in the first 5 minutes, although it helps. Much prefer it. And we always guarantee we're getting someone who's active in the chat because we've revised how the priority works as well. All right. Out of these five, Liao Tang gets their game played. Just feel meme co. All right. What? Okay. Meme Co is an ongoing game started during the Black and White Game Jam. Now the concept of Meme Co and Throp up for guys. The Let 'em Die 48 theme, adding new deep stages. The genre, just Meme Co. No walkthrough, just feel and experience that all assets are original. Version 0.02. Okay. So this is something you'd already made, but then you made it again. Oh, yes, it's the jam, right? Okay. Downloading. What does it mean? I don't think we're going to find out, Neo Shade Zero. Is my strong suspicion. But we'll see. Elliptical? Is that... Does anything happen? In full screen, this is a... How do I make it work? Thropper for guys of portrait. Right, I see. Well, so far it's a white semicircle. Not semicircle. Whatever you call it. Circle that's stretched a bit. Ellipse. Is this the game? I don't... from its description it could be, for all I know. Maybe we download it. What? The WoWs? F5? Let's try a different browser. That was on Brave. This is now Chrome. But it looks like it's like running. Okay. Well, it looks like we're in. Can we like zoom? So I walked into a room and it sounded like I just got vaporized. I don't. Is that it? I don't. I don't. I'm trying to just experience it, but it's not helping. Can I restart? Is there... Do I just have to refresh the browser? Oh my god, that flash. The logo. Oh, keys, enter, and some other button. Oh. There's a zoom button, although it like wears off. Enter doesn't do anything. I don't get it. And if this wasn't the stream that it is, I'd have stopped playing. You know? Like, I'd just be like, well, I don't understand what's going on. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit and experience meme code, whatever the hell that means. If it was just a game where I just like move around like this, I walk into a thing and I just get, and there's no evidence of any other way to do anything or play the game. Oh, eventually we press what? F? On the other side over here? Oh, it's like a train? Okay. But I would have stopped playing, you know? Well, that's a horrible noise. I'm pressing everything. Enter, enter, enter. What am I doing? What do you want from me? There's a lot of notes and stuff for someone who's made absolutely no effort to communicate how to play the damn game. Can we leave? No. We're bringing things to here. Oh, what? Now we can progress? I can't get out again. You're right about the first part, Daddy Suck. I like the art. Yeah, the art style's fine, kind of. It feels a bit weird with the zooming in and out and stuff. But it's just... It thinks it's being way too clever, and it, like, there's no attempt. Like, it's fine to be esoteric and have a weird thing that, like, or you slowly piece together some kind of game loop and it goes somewhere, but, like, give me something to, like, want to do any of this. I don't know, maybe for some people you could sell the game just on the basis, like, oh, it's esoteric. But... like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? The honest answer to that is because I'm doing a feedback stream and I feel inclined to be a bit more patient with the game than I normally would be. God, the screen's annoying. Is that meant to be like me pulling him or something? I don't even... Why is he not following now? It needs anything other than, you'll see, wink wink, and then delivering nothing. Like, for this length of time. Every single one of these screens is just walk up to the thing, get weird draggy man, bring him back. Like, eventually we got to something happening. Like, you know, it's like, oh, okay, we get a thing into a thing, and it lights up a thing, get all the things. And if there was like 4 of them, I'd be like, okay, cool. The fact that there's 8 and they are all just this. It's stupid train just doesn't work most of the time. There we go. Get on the train. It's because it keeps getting stuck there. That's a bit too hard. No. I swear to God, if I deliver the last thing, it just like turns black and the text Minko appears or something on screen. I'm gonna be furious. It's exactly what's gonna happen, isn't it? That doesn't make any sense later on. No matter how clever you felt saying it. Oh, can we not get any further? Oh, we're gonna walk. I do like the artwork. It's weird and unsettling, and I get that those vibes are coming through quite well. Even some of the mechanical presentation, like this really long tunnel, could be a really cool thing in a game that I've like been given any reason to care about. But I haven't been given any reason to care about this, or any reason to be interested in it. Eventually, after mining with a pickaxe for trying to draw some blood out of the stone, we found a thing that lights up when I brought some dudes to it. And I'm like, something is happening. My pressing of keys and interacting with this game is bringing something back. Let's see where this goes. But it took way too long to get there. I would have quit the game way before that point under any other circumstances. A lot of it just doesn't work very well. Like, you get stuck in the things with the train at the edge and you have to like bring it back to be able to get out of them, and it just doesn't work very well. The animation's super inconsistent of when it's playing that weird dragging thing, the way the chasing dude behaves. I think honestly that's the biggest problem with a lot of it. A lot of it just doesn't work very well. Does this just go on forever? Hey, Sakuras. In another game, this could be really funny, but here I just feel like my time is being wasted. I feel like I'm the joke of this experience. Oh. Wait, this is what? I clicked wrong. I clicked my Piggy's game. Into a world of distorted minds. It was about 30 minutes long. 30 minutes! We're not got 30 minutes, but we'll play a bit of it. Actually, to be fair, I've spent more than 30 minutes on some games. Depends. We'll see how it goes. It's a visual novel, not a lot of gameplay there. Well, I mean, we played a game that was entirely just a visual novel before, so... You say not a lot of gameplay. Is it not a lot or is it none? And I'm not saying that none is not a valid answer. Practically not. That still leaves... Okay, well, I mean, this is some gameplay already, I guess. Maze aesthetic? Unseen text? I'm not sure what these mean. I guess we'll have to play the game to get the context of what this means. The last game had gameplay. That wasn't the problem. Text size, man. I like the transitions between the screens on here. I'm guessing we could just do everything with the mouse then, right? There was a lot of like reading comfort stuff, which you kind of want if the game is wholly about reading. This is kind of what I was saying before, right? Skip text you haven't read before. Well, it's text you. Eh? Why would you want to skip text you haven't read before? Surely it should be skipping scene text, right? It's on by default. Is that just something I don't understand? Why? When would you do that? Speedrun tag. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure it makes sense. I personally don't. I don't. Going through the middle dot. Oh. Well, it's making a sound, but now we're still here. Oh, maybe we had to click that door. But did I click on a door? Interesting. And one pets. So I thought from the cold asphalt, but I failed. My whole body was heavy and my head felt like it was being squashed by a hydraulic press. So I feel like I can't really do the thing with these kind of games where I actually voice over the entire thing. Because there's going to be so many words and my voice will just explode. You do it when there's some amount of dialogue, but when the game is all dialogue... hastily checked my body, fortunately finding no wounds. Why was I feeling this weak then? Maybe I was drugged. And if I do something like that that makes it easier for me, it kind of detracts from the vibe of the game, right? Spooky house door. It opened. Man, I don't think I'm even in the headspace for a game with this much text. Pictures of the world. Feels like a bit of a different style. But it's good that you put time into making this all look quite nice, and just be have loads of those options and stuff like that. It's why, it seems like an esoteric, and I don't even get it, a bit of an esoteric option, skipping unseen text and stuff like that, right? But I get pouring loads of time into putting loads of options and extra little bits and comfort things like that into a visual novel that is just text, because that's all there is. So like all your value multiplication has to go on top of that, right? Oh, we got shaky text. Is how overused do we think this is gonna be? I think it's okay. Like, I like that it's on the whole sentence. Right. If I knew how to give subs to the chat or whatever, this would be an opportunity. But as it is, it's just gonna be a thing. Does this? I think that the shaky here is good for the horror vibe. I feel like if this game does wavy text, it would probably hurt the vibe a bit. But I know what people who make these kind of things are like. I don't know that it's likely, but there will be wavy text and it will be weird. Or there will be no wavy text. Oh, you've ruined. Oh, we can't do it now. You spoiled it. When I bring up the poll, you have to not spoil it. No, you didn't know. And the idea is we try and work it out. What's gonna happen? But it's good. It's good that there is. Good that you didn't. You've used it sparingly and with a purpose. It feels a little indulgent on that line. I don't think it was super necessary, but it was okay. I think it was solid use. This blur is cool. Honestly, I think doing effects on the background and stuff like that's probably more impactful than like a shaky background would have been cool and so on. It's alright, don't worry about it. You had no way to know. For you, I was just asking a question, so you're just like, oh, that's no, don't worry about that. There's no thing. But yeah, red text though. Why red? Why not like bold, italic? Red is a weird choice. Not necessarily a bad choice. All the way over there. I don't really grasp much of what's happening other than just stuff be a bit creepy. Man, this is like me trying to sleep. Oh yeah, the doors are locked. Kedge. Kedramai. It's got a nice comic book style about the font. Hmm. Yeah, I can imagine. Grimacing frown. His lips curled. It's person after person, but even after what happens, no one wanted to lend an unkempt, half-dressed stranger their phone. As I made my way through a side street, I had two elderly women whispering to violent incidents. Older woman 1 and older woman 2. I wonder what was the thing in his mind that like caused him to number them that way. Like as he saw these two people, was it just that he numbers just typically would number things from left to right, and the older woman 1 was just the one that was stood on the left? Was older woman 1 maybe a little bit taller than older woman 2? Did they have a name tag that said 1 and 2 on them? just I think about things like this. Okay, so I wasn't expecting this art style. This trips me up a little bit, like, because all we've seen so far is like backgrounds and the text, and that's been working quite well. This is a little bit surprising. I'm not sure how well it actually sits against this background and everything else. It's like kind of creates a very different vibe all of a sudden. I've been talking about you. The person who wants a phone. Stay away from him, probably. Oh no. Too frustrated. Yeah, this is a bit like, because it's like kind of almost photorealistic with like filters and grain and blur and stuff over the top of it. Sticking an anime girl on top of that was a bit odd to me. Kind of lessened the horror aspect of it a little bit as well, I think. Tempting looking plan. Not sure how I'm feeling about this red for emphasis. Oh. Oh, right, we'll do it again since we're gonna get used out of the poll. I mean, I know what you're all gonna say, but don't eat plants. Don't eat random plants. Probably bad for you. Type 1 or 2. What are we doing? Are we eating these random plants that we were just hypnotically attracted to for no reason? Of course we are. Let's be real. I want to see. Oh, okay, we got one. We got one. Joel likes pigs there. Maybe just to be contrarian. It was just like, don't either. Like, there was a 0% chance that 2 was winning here. But I just kind of wanted to make that point. I mean, if it was just me playing it, I wouldn't. I would just be like, no, don't either. Probably be bad. But stream chat, you can rely on stream chat to behave in a certain way, and of course, they're gonna tell me to eat them. I don't really think. Well, hungry, and who knows how long it's been since I've eaten, so it's probably either this or starving. Dug in. Was it? I mean, I don't know. Was this really the only? Alright, it was the only option. It didn't even taste that bad. Kind of grassy, but edible. Oh no. That's a good use of red. Elio says, well, we just carried on. Well, that's a bit weird, but sure, it's fine. Oh no. That was a disturbing scene. That's why you don't eat random plants, idiots. Christ, are we becoming Bulbasaur? What is happening? Oh. Give up. Game too hard. Required us to not eat random plants. We surrender. That's just a you die moment. Alright, okay. I never know how I feel about choices like that, but I just like... Because if I didn't do it, I'd be like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I did it. Like, that's kind of the... Wait, what? That's kind of like the... You know how we were talking about level design? And we were like, how about when you do like a room that's like... this? Like, the ways you go through it are like that, where I'm just like, oh, I feel a bit like, oh, maybe there's something cool up there. But then if you actually go there, it's like, there's not a whole lot, and then you just sort of come back and go that way and be like, oh, okay, and then let's carry on. That's like the visual novel equivalent of this sort of level design. In a way. Like, it's kind of okay because, like, at least there was something, like, it was a cool, weird, disturbing bit of dialogue that, like, you just wouldn't get otherwise. You try a thing and the other option is progress, right? It sort of works a bit better. But it's still got a bit of that, like, you know... It's almost like to win, you pick... It's sort of like we pick the correct option in a way. way. You pick the one that kills you, because then you loop back and then you see more stuff in general, right? But I guess if you're immersed, you're like, oh no, let's not eat the weird plant. Oh, why are plants eating the cat? Oh yeah, this did say Act 1 was about pets. What? I am actually very hungry, which this game is reminding me. What's going on here? What is going on? Never cared for those boogers. Kind of a weird thing to imagine coming out of a, I don't know why, anime character. I think what I would have, like, again, it's very specific. I don't want to be prescriptive about my advice, but like, something I would have considered doing, because I was thinking about like how these characters felt a bit jarring with the vibe that we had otherwise. I think maybe what I'd consider is making them silhouettes or something. Because the more, because like they add a certain fidelity and a certain amount of like detail that is otherwise like you're filling in the gaps with everything else. It's like imagine you're reading just a book with just text, and then just like randomly on like page 75 there's like full screen color art of everything, like full page color art and stuff. It threw you because it started to be like, oh wait, oh okay, that's how that. Oh, all right. I think we get the idea of this though. All right, I'm kind of waiting for a natural stopping point, and I'm not sure where that's going to be. I'm not sure what's going on in the chat. I was trying to catch up, but I think we get the idea of this. I don't want to just play a ton more. I think we get the gist. But like, it's done really well. I like the execution of just the text and stuff. It's good and looks good. I don't know how I feel about the red, like the weird dark red on stuff. Most of the time, it's used. I don't know, like for emphasis and that. I think I'd almost prefer something more subtle, like a bold or an italics or something. I don't know. Or it's generally really good. I'm sure there's a name for the trope of just like a choice between death and continue. And like be careful with those, but like, all right. Yeah, and generally it's really good. Honestly, like I think the biggest issue I had with it was like the anime characters just sort of threw me. Like I just wasn't like I wasn't expecting them at any point, and then it just sort of became that style out of nowhere, and it was just a bit like, oh okay. Yeah, it does say here that it features a manga aesthetic with CGs drawn by a manga artist. Um, 3 arcs explore different terrors. Interesting. It's cool. It's interesting. I don't think I have anything else interesting to say about it. It's good. All right. Was that a priority game? Must have been, right? Raffle, raffle, raffle. You know how it works. Do the thing. $13. You predict Holtzy will still not win this raffle. Well, he doesn't have to. In fairness, it'd kind of be wasted on him since he's immediately after this. But nonetheless, he's won it. Because of course. Of course that was going to happen. I knew it. The moment I said, like, he doesn't have to, it's just like, he's going to win it. But, yep. Oh well. It's well earned. Man of the people, Holtzy. Gifted many a sub. Banned many a bot, presumably. Now we are finally playing his latest work of art. Voxel Towers. Made in Unity. Seriously, girl. Stopping by. Prototype. Click the towers once placed to upgrade if you didn't read the note. I didn't read a dang thing. Can we place before? Okay, like voxel towers. Oh. I mean, that's some pretty good coverage. Oh, I can't afford it though. These probably weren't the best locations. Oh, that's the end as well. Dang, for some reason I thought this was the start. Oh, that's the base. The health bar presentation here is it's got a bit of an issue. Do we have sounds or is it just really quiet? It's kind of hard. I think it's just quiet. Up a little bit. Where's my currency? 205. And which turret just does the best DPS? Because I feel like we're going to get enough money to just sort of flood this thing soon. Oh yeah, we can upgrade, can't we? Okay, it's kind of telling us in ambiguous bar. Or we upgrade as well. The upgrade cost doesn't go up a lot, actually. But I don't know, it's hard to actually tell. Like, is that just... Oh, it's max, right. Well, this feels a little awkward. They were just shooting the closest one. Hit the one that's... Also, I can't tell the difference between laser turrets and the basic turrets. They look the same. I guess they probably fire slightly different projectiles. Yeah. But it's kind of important that I can distinguish between the towers. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Together they're slightly taller as well. I think the issue I have with this, and it's with most tower defense games, is you gotta find that, like, how do I make smart decisions in this game? Because at the moment it's like, well, obviously we have a simple map and everything like that, and it's pretty easy to get decent coverage with however you place or set these things up. And because I don't really have a super clear idea of like whether it's better to upgrade or whether it's better to buy more turrets, it's like, because it's just like we're making bars go up because whatever. I can't really make a cost judgment other than just by sort of trial and error and experience, right? So because of that, the game is just like, spend all your money and it'll either work or it won't. When's this wave coming? And when you draw hit point bars, yeah, the health bar wants to face towards the camera. Press R, will that restart? Or wait, that counted. Oh, right, is it just counting down waves that don't exist? I see. Does this look different? Or just some effect that comes in eventually? Yeah, like a fog or something. So I guess I beat the game. Oh, how did that end up there? Whatever. No fire rate on these guys. Does the cannon turret do splash? Cannon turret just seems like it's just better, but I mean, it does cost like 2 of these. It's like I'm fishing for like, how do I make a good cost judgment in this game? Or is it just spend all your money and you'll be alright? because I did just kind of randomly spend my money, and I was kind of just alright, you know? So that's not really about balancing. I mean, balancing these kind of games is very hard, but I don't think the issue is balancing. The issue is having either more clarity on the impact of my decisions, or in fact probably both. Both more clarity on the impact of my decisions, either being that like a comparison, direct comparison, like being able to see the exact DPS of a turret versus another one and then make a cash judgment or whatever, versus more interesting decisions to make. And that can be achieved by a more complicated map, enemies that do different things or have different resistances, there's different types of turrets, there's, you know, gestures broadly at the entire genre of tower defense. Because, like, yeah, you could do that and just put, like, a DPS on each other thing, and then that allows me to go, like, oh, well, this turret is just more cost efficient than this turret to place here. But then, like, oh, well, I've solved it, right? Because this game here is entirely like the whole game is what is the most cost-effective decision to do. Because there's not a whole lot in placing them. There's just sort of some areas that are just better than others. So you'll fill out the better areas first, or the things that can reach further, or whatever. And then, like, if these ones are cost-effective, then you line them on the inside and you put the cannons in the middle. If the cannon's cost-effective, then you just put cannons everywhere. If the laser turret's effective, you just put that pretty much everywhere, other than areas where it can't shoot at all, and so on. Once you've got the once you've worked out the cost effectiveness, it's over. So in a way, I kind of respect the way it is at the moment, and like there is at least some trial and error, because that sort of stretches it out, but in an artificial way that it's not. I don't know. The decisions need to end up being more different from one another, because I could just do whatever, and we were fine, you know? For the most part. We took a bit of damage on the last wave, I think. But good. I like tower defenses. Always interesting. Hard to get right. But easy to get to a point where at least there's a bit of satisfaction. Plunk some things, they shoot things. Hey. I mean that was the raffle. So next up is Ken Forrest about. Who is here out of Heartlamp, Vitas, and Ken Forrest? I'm not convinced Ken Forrest is here, because Vitas was in the last raffle and says he's here, but Ken Forrest is not. So I'm gonna start the 15-second timer on my stream deck, and Ken Forrest doesn't come back. We're playing Lie or Die, which it looks like we are. 3 seconds. Heartlamp is here. Ooh, what was that noise? Oh, that was my stream deck. That's what it does. Apparently it makes that noise. So, Vitas it is. This keeps coming back up. Let me guess. Run Unity either? In Chrome either? Oh, wait, there we go. Lie or Die, I've already hate it. So, hang on. Oh no, we're at normal zoom. Okay, it's just the UI doesn't scale. Alright. Video game by these people. Play. These items reduce stress. Fan and mug. For each wrong answer, a knife is slammed on the table. Get 4 wrong, and you lose the game. While on, these items raise stress. Answer the questions by picking a lie from the book. Okay. Where do I see like my stress then or whatever? It seemed like a thing I was having to manage, but I guess I'll just leave that on, right? Quite a coincidence, you see. I made this vagrant a few days ago, showing by the river. He taught me a few moves. Sure. Mention that you have a contact in South America. Who are they? Who's the person in this picture? Wait, what? Why am I so stressed? Did that help? Friend of a friend. Ask Ivan. Sure. Does it have to make sense? Is that the idea? Oh, I wasn't even seeing the knife slammed. Well, not the knife slammed. I guess there's right and wrong answers, right? I mean, do I just want that on all the time? That is my mother. That works! Oh, no. Wait, what? What? I don't get it. I like the general presentation and mood and theme of it and everything, but like, it just sort of game over out of nowhere, you know? There's no, I could tell things were getting bad, but it wasn't quite clear why or how to make it better. Oh, there's also a stress ball. I guess we just always, like, is that just we turn that on at the start and then it just... Great. My mother. Oh, that didn't work. Find the mansion. Oh. But it seems to do that when I answer a question. Like answering a question increases the stress as well. Like, it's not clear what they're doing, you know? I mean, I know it says, like, oh, they reduce stress, but, like, it doesn't seem to. Like, I do things with them. Oh, we can turn those off as well. The map? Doesn't seem like I can. turn his recording off and he doesn't care. No. Oh. I don't feel like that was still right and I just got anxiety killed, but it's not clear. It's like it's not. I think the fact that like when you answer it like with a question, and it seems to affect the anxiety stuff as well. Like it feels like you did something wrong with the answer, right? Yeah, I felt like there was more to the stress ball, but I couldn't quite work it out. Like, did I have to like? Alright, if I right click. But I needed you to tell me that, you know, because so far I've only learned like, it does say on there with two. Did it say that before? But like, it's a little tricky to notice, right? You can just turn his stuff off. It's a little weird, given the setup here. Feels like there's two games going on at once. I'm just like interacting with all these things and also doing this stuff. The environment is cool. Yeah, because it gives the same game over even if you get the 4 things, right? So you can't even tell what it was that actually... I thought the thing in the middle was telling me that my anxiety got too high, but... Oh, okay, it was. Because then it's doing that. Oh. So yeah, the biggest issue with this is just not really knowing what exactly is happening all the time and what killed you, what... And be like, was it the answer I gave or was it the stress thing? You know, or was it like kind of both? It's not wholly clear all the time what's doing what. And I get you've tried to be subtle rather than have like a big bar on the screen or anything like that. But it's just not quite enough to make those direct connections. There's not enough feedback there. Because it just goes from sort of nothing to like sweat everywhere. You know, it's just like... It's like I have 2 hit points. Oh, that noise is a bit too loud for me to want to use it a lot. I like the idea though. Wait, tell the truth was an option? Some of them are just true? It looks really nice. It is very, like, atmospheric. And kind of stressful is funny. I feel like a little bit of it is thrown by the fact that obviously you wouldn't just be able to turn off your interviewer's equipment and have this weird game of turning stuff on and off around them. Like, that wouldn't make... You could do that, right? The audio works. That's actually pretty effective. It's like it is fun. Like, oh, actually, what more thing with deeper and deeper? It's an interesting take. I don't know how well it like gels to it, but it's a cool take on it. You know, it's a cool thing. Deeper and deeper into a web of lies is good. Um, yeah, the main thing is just like the feedback, right? Because there's no like transition or anything. That just sort of happens, and you've got to tie it to the very last thing that was happening before. Just suddenly, boom, game over, which is usually telling a lie or whatever. And then you're thinking, well, but that like you separate those two things from like the four lives you have, but also you've got this one generic life on top of that. That's like if that ever runs out, you lose. And it's just not clear where that is. Whereas the knives thing is clear. There's four of them, even though there's a little hard to like you have to look in a specific spot for them. At least it's clear. You know, it's like there's four lives. Run out of lives, you lose. Cool. Yeah, I know it always told you lost because of that, but it wasn't clear how much you had or if you could afford to do one more or you know, there's no bar, there's no nothing. That's just a bit like, oh. Okay, it's all my fault and my criticism is invalid. Never mind then. I guess let's move on. I'm trying to give you useful. Whatever. You don't care. Next up, we've got who's next? Was that was priority? So let's shuffle it up. Like when I'm trying to give you feedback, I'm trying to give you information on how I felt playing the game. I understand how you tried to show it to me. I understand like the things you've implemented. I'm saying how I feel in spite of those things because they weren't enough. And how like the comparison there was like the knives is good, that works, it's very clear, right? It's clear when I've got like one left and the thing is going to break it down. Wasn't clear at all how stress was being reduced. It's just like, well, I just turn this thing off permanently or on permanently. Oh, but he turns it on now and again. It's jarring because it's anti-intuitive in the context of it. It doesn't, I mean, I couldn't work the squeezy thing out right away. I mean, I know there was some feedback with the double mouse thing, but it's a little tricky to get right away. And like it was like, okay, well, I'm holding this thing, or we're drinking the coffee, but the sweat isn't going down. Well, I've drunk it for a while. Hopefully, this helped. Let's try and answer. Oh, you died to anxiety. And I'm like, what do you want from me? All right, kid again. Does have a game in here. Project Cybersphere. I think we might make. We'll do this one, the next priority game, and we'll probably make that the last one. That the last one, even. So I think I've already tried to do too many for today. When I finished making it, yes, sir. I don't know. Probably a long, long time from now, unfortunately. It is Heartland for when we do the raffle. It'd probably be good to do something like that for the priority ones as well. So we do when we do priority ones, I just sort of call out like who is here out of these people who are at the top, and whoever's here and closest to the top gets the game played. And when we do raffle games, we you type join to join the raffle, and then when it ends, we get a random person of the people that join. Yeah, exactly. Molto bella game collega. Kronos from Team Cyberspear. Whose game was this? I don't know how to say that. It's the first level, so it's basic, so I'm guessing, I'm wondering more as in, is this a good first level and do the base mechanics and stuff work well? Good. Ooh, this is cute. You know, it's like, obviously it like mixels a little because it's like scaling, but like, it's so pretty that I think it works anyway. The way, if you're going to get away with it anywhere, it's always going to be UI. How loud is that? Let's turn this down a bit. We had to turn it up for the other game. This is cool. It's just a character and a thing. I'm probably going to be controlling this character. I wonder what the deal is. Thing is, that was all controlled with the mouse, but I bet none of... Yeah, I was going to say, I bet the game isn't. Variable jump. It is off the grid, isn't it? Yeah. Where is it? Oop. Hard to tell, especially since we just did an ability, but yeah, it is just off the grid. A little hard to tell, though. Okay, that does something. Nice camera. Nice. So I like that introduction of it. I'm just like, get up here, let's try jumping at it. Uh-oh. I've screwed something though. I'm now facing a weird direction. Uh-oh. Okay, pressing escape kind of fixed it. Something weird went on there where we came back to here and we were facing a weird angle and couldn't wall jump. You have to roll. And I have to, right? There's no other way. I don't think there's really... Oh, I suppose you can kind of do this. I'm really determined to not pay attention. Sort of. You kind of have to roll. Oh, that's tricky. Hang on. Oh! Interesting, because I was inclined to jump there, because I'm like, oh, I have to jump to hit this thing. And then the way I hit it, I was just like, wait a minute. Cute. That's really cool. When it's made, part 2 Ivor 9. I've recorded one last week, but we didn't get a chance to edit it together, unfortunately. I've not been very productive this week. It's been very, very tired. Sometimes all he needs is rest. Okay. Oh, I kind of expected to see more of them after they were introduced, but maybe we do. This feels very Castlevania-y. It's kind of weird looking at that, like how it's like off the tile. Like everything else has been like tiles and maybe like half tiles. And then this is like all kinds of weird shapes. It's very slow, not necessarily in a bad way. Just very notable. Like it's got a very deliberate pace, I guess, is the best way I can think to put it. Yeah. Ooh. trying to work out what those blue bits on me are. Are they like magic tattoos or something? Guessing that's placeholder. The Temple of Wind. Okay. See, now we've learned how these things work in a controlled environment. I mean, it wouldn't have been terrible to introduce them there either, really, but it's still very thoughtful. The transitions are good. Here we've got a bit of like a... I'm not sure which way the level wants me to go. I don't think there's anything up there. It's a weird screen. Is that a secret or something? I'm not really committed to jump arc when you do a wall jump, eh? Oh, you can kind of cancel it by just not holding jump. Hey, wait a minute. Is this Pokey Poke? Oh, how do I use that? Wait, what? That was weird. I instinctively grabbed my mouse and went to spin it. Is anything going to tell me how this works? Oh, the next screen is locked with a spear, which will be the main mechanics only. Right bumper? Oh, what about on the keys? What's is there a keyboard word? I mean, I guess I could plug in a... Will it pick up if I plug it in mid-game? It's right click? Oh. Okay, what does that do? And can I steal this? Whatever it is. And jumping on there is kind of tricky. Like it's like right at the top. Ah, it's one of these, right. I thought about doing that with Pokey Poke, you know, just making it a platform. Eventually decided against it because we put that big super jump thing in instead. I was tempted to bring it back, and I would like be a platform, but also like if you hit jump as you hit it, that's how you do the super jump. But then that changes a whole number of things. Dash to the spear if you're in the circle, but I disabled it because it was too buggy for the demo. It's kind of a shame in a way because like everything's been so pixel perfect up to this point and it is such a low resolution that then suddenly rotating thing, like, don't get me wrong, I know you kind of have to do it that way if you want 360 movement, otherwise it starts to look a bit grim. I don't know, maybe at this resolution it looks okay. I'd have to try it, but... It's kind of weird screen though, like, does this actually go up? Because it's hard to really know where to go. Ah. Ah. The blue circle is going to be a thing though. You can dash to the spear, but it's not implemented. Not really a way to like climb with this, is there? No. Is there anything you can actually do inside here? Can I actually get any higher? Doesn't really feel like I can progress. No, at all. Okay. So I mean, it's hard to really judge because I haven't really seen how you've used it. Because you haven't yet. Like, it feels okay. Controller's just vibrating on my lap. I think the main thing, the takeaway of the whole game so far is that the physics are like, they feel nice when they work, but sometimes they're just a little bit off and just have like weird, like you can end up in walls and stuff quite a bit, and it's quite important for this kind of game for that stuff to mostly be as good as possible. Thank you, Gurf, for the Prime sub. Much appreciated, sir. And so for 2D open, wow. I have a game kind of similar. Oh, you even do the same, the slow-mo thing. Oh, but you actually remove your horizontal, do it like, okay. This is a bit different to mine. Because like, I decided not to do this in the end because I wasn't sure that like the level design space of it was super interesting. So in the end, it just gave you a really big jump that you could do with it, which I'm not even sure is better. I'm still working on it. But it's kind of cool. The circle and that, yeah, so like, I'll be able to throw it and then dash to it. So it kind of becomes like a grappling hook. I'd have to know how that felt. So it's really, it's hard to judge from what's here, Like, it feels nice enough, but I think that's all I can really say about it. It does feel very, I don't think of the word. Like, everything feels very committed. Like, nothing is very cancel-y. It feels like I press the thing, then that thing just has to happen. Like, I can't. The general platforming of the game is really cool. The camera's really nice. This level was a bit weird. Because it's like everything else had been so like strictly like linear and cleanly designed. This is a bit like, which way do you want to go for no real reason? Yeah, it's kind of like slower. I mean, I don't know. I could show you how I do it. Like, Spear is a weird thing because it's like, I don't know about better. Like, It's interesting because I thought about doing the platform thing with spears for a long time, but I'm like, does that actually? How much is there for that? But I might. I still have the space to come back to it. I also considered the throw spear to dash the spear, like, no, you can't throw it yet. The, like, you can dash to the spear type of thing, but it's like, I don't know how to really do that unless you can only dash to it once it's embedded in the wall or something. It's like, do I need to give you any more movement options? I don't know. So, I mean, that's how I do it, right? But mine's it's a different game. I think the thing you're going to run into is that your game is really good in being very, like, four-directional. I mean, mine's got like a bit like it still does the thing where it makes the spear either horizontal or vertical depending on where it lands, right? Because it was just way too much to have it actually be angled all the time. Oh yeah, the demo doesn't have the pole vaulting thing. Suddenly introducing a thing where like, oh, you can aim in 360 degrees, it's gonna be it's a big deal because it's a huge deal in this, and it's like this game's designed for mouse and keyboard, and you can kind of play it on pad, but it's really hard. And it's really hard to find parity between the two control systems at that point. If you stick to pad and design around pad, then you might do alright. But like, it's the thing with like, I would consider for your game only being able to throw horizontally and vertically. Because the possibility space you open up when you allow player to do a thing like you can do in my game is a little bit bonkers, and unless you're designing specifically for and around that, it can just be a bit of a headache to work with from experience. Oh. I'm so bad at my own game. How would I lock a horizontal vertical only though? Well, I mean, you basically the same way you lock it when it hits the surface, right? I don't know, you can either like throw it the direction you're facing, or if you're pressing up, you throw it up, or if you're facing down, you throw it down, right? Or if you're pushing, sorry, if you're pushing up, you throw it up, or if you're pushing down, you throw it down. Or something along those lines, right? I'm not saying you have to do it that way either, by the way, like obviously it's just it's something I'd consider for your game just because otherwise like the feel of the jumping and stuff like that until you get to that point with the spear felt very slow and deliberate, whereas this is all just designed to be bonkers and freeform, right? Nah. You know, to be constantly doing and throwing and cancelling and bringing things back and so on. Your game feels a little bit more like it's going to work better with strict, like, you have to do this set of things and it'll feel really nice and satisfying as you do it, but it'll be, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. And maybe it's just because that's the impression I got from the earlier part of the game when maybe your game is meant to be all about spear, but I can only judge it based on what I've seen, right? Yeah, those are the best things I can think to say about that. It doesn't include the main game. Yeah, so I mean, if it's meant to be the main game mechanic, then sure, but then really you kind of like, it's a big deal. If it's meant to be more about that, then it's a big deal to have that in before you get feedback on it, really, you know? But it depends what you're after. Hopefully that's been helpful in some regard. I don't know, tricky, because if I knew all the answers, I'd have already finished Pokepoke, so, and I haven't. How does it feel with the controller? Oh, my game. Weird and different and like a very different experience to playing it on pad. To play it on mouse and keyboard. It works, but it's definitely not really built around it. And it's a huge struggle to try and keep them having parity. I've had to do things like for buttons and stuff, like there's a lock on when you're using pad and only when you're using pad. And it's different to play. It's really difficult. But yeah, there are some things that are weirdly easier on it. You know that it's really hard to. It's the biggest struggle I've had with Poke is finding parity between people playing on mouse keyboard, people playing on pad. And my main answer to it is going to be that it's built for PC, mostly. You know, it's kind of built around playing with a mouse. It's sort of built like that's how I built it in the jam and so on, and that's kind of like where its strength is. Doing everything I can to make pad work, but it's hard. LMB is a shoulder button in Poke. Oh, jump? What a shoulder button? Well, it'll be rebindable. I'll probably get some more feedback and stuff on like what people want for default controls as we go. Throw yourself and attach to the surface. Oh, but you saw Poking, like he hasn't finished that. What was I going to say about that? I mean, yeah, like, I wouldn't like. I mean, if you liked that idea, I wouldn't worry about like, like whether the idea is unique or not. Because I just see no matter what you do, someone else is either doing or has done it either way. So don't worry about that. Just worry about how you execute whatever idea you had. Don't try and think about like, oh, we'll do it this way so it's unique to my thing. If the idea is strong, I mean, throwing yourself and attaching yourself to surfaces, that's something that's Celeste as well, right? It's a jumping, climbing, like, type of thing. Just do whatever you think is cool and try and execute it well. Hard to judge until you've decided what that is, I guess, if like you need to find your main mechanic and put it in. But the general platforming is really, maybe you don't need one. Maybe you just make out jumping and spikes. It's good as it is, Don't try and think that you need your one thing or whatever. Maybe your one thing can be not having one. That's the thing. I don't know, man. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. I know this kind of contradicts some of my thing I was saying in this very first game where I was talking about the sandbox game and just like, oh, you need to make sure you have your own thing. Don't just be like every other sandbox game at times. But it's the execution there of that platformer is really good. And I think if you just take an idea and run with it, don't try and worry too much about whether that one particular mechanic has been done elsewhere or it might is being done elsewhere or whatever. Just whatever is actually going to be interesting to you. That's the important thing. And then the same is true for Woolhig's game as well. Whatever is like most interesting to you is what's probably going to be the most successful. Anyway, I've said enough about that. I'm going to do one more. Is Ken Forrest here? He wasn't before. And his heart lamp here, and he said he was working into skip, but I don't know. Do you want me to play it? Or do you want me to play it or not? Or and is Leo Apollo here? Heart lamp. He just said, "I'm here!" exclamation mark. So I'm guessing you want me to. All right. This is our last game. Apologies to everyone else, the remaining however many. It is what it is. Sorry though, Apollo. Unfortunately, Heart Lamp was here. One frog's no good, very bad automobile malfunction. Like, people will always be like that, kid. Like, people see my game and they're just like, oh, it's Celeste. You know, people see another perspective and like, oh, it's Braid. You know, like, what are you gonna do? Just if you think your thing is cool, just make it and execute well on it, and that's all you can. That's all you can do. It might be that someone's executed your idea better already, in which case, yeah, maybe do something else, I guess, if it doesn't need to exist. Oh god, I should be reading this. Have you built a car? I'm liking the dun. It was all the time. Oh god. Down a little bit. Click and drag dice to modify the loop. Ah. Oh, I get it. Nice! It's a bit like that other coding platformer game, but like a bit more immediately intuitive. Art style is a bit all over the place, but you know what? It's so consistently all over the place. Like, nothing matches. That it almost like reverses into being good. Like dice here to split them? What does that mean? Two is less than 6, then move. Oh. Oh. Less than or equal to 3. Else. Nice! The huge nice is great. I like that a lot. Oh, interesting. Oh. Tricky. Oh god. Oh no. Why is there a real-time component to this? Some spots will destroy your dice after you. Oh no. Can we even do that? Am I stuck? So as long as we don't take it out. It's a little unintuitive, that bit. Like, you work it out in the end, but... Oh, no. Oh my god, what? Three greater than 2, which equals 2, which is... Ah, damn it! Why has this been like a different size on every screen? I swear. Ferocious Industries, we're playing our last game of the day, but generally speaking, you can submit at any time in the stream just by using !FAQ, going to the link that's there. There'll be a form, you fill out the form, you get your game on a big Excel spreadsheet, and then we like alternate between playing games of priority of who submitted earliest and raffling off a random game. It's too late to do it today, so there's no point submitting now. But next Friday, you can submit at any point during the stream. Maybe we don't want to split that one. No, I think we have to. But how? What's that? Oh, it like pauses when you take one out. God damn it. God. What? I'm gonna get any closer than that without just hitting into the. Actually, I suppose it isn't. Oh, yeah! The bounce just about does it. I was like, how on earth am I going to do this? But it's weird that there was a bit of platform there that, like, maybe that was accidental. I don't know. But if that was intentional, that was cool. But I would have made it just a big wall if that was the intended solution. There was a bit more clear. Too hard. That's great though. I like that a lot. I got all more. No, I don't know why I saw this and I was like, oh, we're gonna get like a racing game. I didn't even look at these screenshots. That's really cool. I kind of love pretty much everything. It's good. Like, it's intuitive, but like some bits are a little bit like, oh, how do I? And the real time components make it like really hard because everything's going so fast. The puzzle solving is kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about any part of it that requires any real time like management. I think I'm just too slow and old. But also this background does not match the style. I mean, none of it matches, I guess. I think you just decided that none of it's gonna match and that's gonna be it. Just put this screen. It's mostly there though. And you know what? It's daft comedy vibes. Just about make it work. I still think it would look better if it were all consistent. I think you could do it. So rather than just resizing this to be huge, just redraw it again at the size. I think you do get away with it, but I still think it would look better if it were all coherent. You know, I think you can still mixel. Like, I think you could do fun rotation and squashing effects and stuff and have them look good. But I think generally speaking, the assets should be of the same, like, pixel size. But nonetheless, it doesn't really subtract from the feel of it. Or was this for Londari, or was it just not the most recent one? Late last year. Okay. What was the theme? Hang on, what were the last Londari themes? Stuck in a loop or keep it alive? Maybe. Could be any of these. Well, probably not that or that. One of those two. Stuck in a loop. Oh yeah, I can get wait, that makes sense. Keep it alive also makes sense. To some degree. Yeah, it's great. It's jolly. It's fun. I love the little frog in the car. It's pretty intuitive, you know, just dragging and dropping a click. It's a little bit like, oh, what about a few things? But you play around with it for like 2 seconds and you get the gist. No, yeah, it's really good. So two criticisms I think are inconsistent outside. You get away with it, but I still think it would look better if it were consistent. And the real time component. The real time components are really, really. You can like, I think you can have them, but just worry about them because they're of a difficulty that's just way beyond like what you've otherwise been doing. Um, so be careful about how that scales or however you want it to be. But nonetheless, I think it was really good. Right, I think we're gonna leave that there. It's actually around the normal time I would stop, so I guess that works out pretty well. Um, it's been a long one, almost 4 hours. The stream, although it'll be like 3.5 on YouTube due to the intro. So, um, yeah, thank you very much for submitting that. It was cool. Before I leave, what games am I playing at the moment? Got any recommendations? I constantly recommend the Outer Wilds, and I think there's actually like a DLC thing coming for it soon. The Outer Wilds, not Outer Worlds. Wilds. Still my game of the last 10 years. It's that good. It's so good. But what else am I playing at the moment? I recently started playing Devil Daggers again. Highly recommend. Big recommend on Devil Daggers. It's very, very good. Um, Final Fantasy 14, I played a bunch of. Wouldn't recommend because MMO. Just oh my god, I'm enjoying it a lot, playing it with a bunch of my friends, but I can't recommend an MMO in good faith. um, Pokemon Snap on the Switch, very, very, very good. Very cool game. Um, some interesting flaws, but still very, very good. Interesting one to think about. Um, that's mostly it for me at the moment, I think. Means recently, I want to play more StarCraft 2 again. Gosh, that is by far the most satisfying competitive game I've ever played, but it is just so insanely stressful for reasons I can't even fully put my finger on. Because it's not like I don't even care about the MMR. It's just I don't know. There's something about playing a random person. I'll play my friends who are really one of my friends is way better than me and will crush me every single game without fail. I don't know, I can play him forever, but just playing a random person on ranked, there's something really anxiety-inducing about it that I can't quite put my finger on, and it's so stressful. I don't understand it, and it's a shame because it's like the main way I would get better. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble too much about that. I'm going to stop streaming. Well, actually, maybe it is ladder anxiety, but it's like it's weird because it's. I think most people associate that with like, oh, I don't want to lose my ladder points or something. And I don't care about the ladder points. I don't know. I can go. I can lose a billion games. I don't care about that. At least I don't think I do. I don't know. It's tricky. Hi, me. Shut up, me. Let's find. It's tricky. I know it's tricky. That's what I just said. Shut up, me. Game development. See, it's such a game development, and then not all these have game development in the tag. So what's the deal with that? And they all are basically game development, but I don't know how it works. Can we spot any game maker users? Where are game maker people? Oh, we did him last time. MMORPG game dev. Alright, sure. Would I rather speak all languages or be able to play any instrument? I speak English, which is a nice, lazy language to be able to speak and demand rudely that everyone else speak. So I'm pretty happy with English. Play all instruments, pretty baller. I'd take that. Easy question.
Like a high school RPG project. Oh, you're insulting me. That's what you're doing. Got it.
Oh, he's got a person being bad in the chat, so we're going to replace this loser with loads of nice people in the chat. So, be nice to this guy. Hopefully his game is interesting. I haven't really watched any of it, but where we're going. Smash raid. I don't know how to translate all my games. Yeah, it's true, but then, you know, still have to finish any games to bother translating them. So I'm working on that at the moment. Play all the instruments, I can make loads of sick music for my games. And that contributes more directly to the getting the game finished in any capacity, but I don't know. It is actually a harder question than I'm making out, but my gut reaction is instrument. Yeah, probably TJP. Like I think the other one worked out well, but I don't think it's going to be like a consistent common thing. Anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. Please be nice to this guy. Drop the Sean J Poke emotes, etc. if you have them. I do stream Friday. We'll be back next Friday, same time roughly, like 1 to 2 GMT through till about 5 GMT. Playing your games, as we always do. Thanks, guys. See you later.